a couple of traumatic incidents in the past. Biggest slab of steak on the rack, you know? That's how I feel some mornings. Not all mornings though. Sometimes I feel like a limp little piece of bacon flapping in the wind. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna chef up a little Sandy here. A little Sandy Sandarella. I hadn't been making sandwiches for like, I don't know, probably over a year. And, you know, just getting on a little Sandy kick here. So this is kind of gonna be my pre-workout meal. Susie's Spicy Brown Mustard. I was gonna say Dijon mustard, but it's Susie's. Oh, Suze here. Suze is adding a little zip to my Sammy Samarella. This is the freaking dopest hot sauce of all time. Abisi Zozo, you're probably not gonna get it where you are because I live in a pretty random place in the world, and it's made by some dude that lives here locally. Yeah, so we're gonna be training in like probably 2 to 3 hours from now. So I'm gonna maybe have another meal with me. I like to kind of stack my meals and carb up before training. But I'm not as worried about training or eating afterwards. Try to get something in, but which is maybe a little bit contrarian to the public narrative or view around working out. Post-workout nutrition, post-workout shake is heavily emphasized. But you know, I find my performance in the workout, which then leads potentially to gains if I do a good job, is almost more important, or equally as important, let's say. I mean, it doesn't need to, we don't need to get all philosophical here and join a tribe. There's the pre-workout nutrition tribe or the post-workout nutrition tribe, and anybody who opposes me and thinks the opposite is wrong fundamentally in their existence in life. That's just a pretty typical human perspective, is to be tribal and want to attach yourself to one ideology. Here you go, you thought you were just gonna get some gym bro talking about eating a fucking bag of dicks before going to work out, and I'm hitting you with some freaking woke philosophy about life, dude. Okay, let's stay focused here. I am on a bit of a time crunch. Beef pastrami. You know, we got like 3 little hunks of beef. Maybe let's go 4, why not, you know? Meat up, you know? All meat. You never have too much meat in your mouth. Okay, some tomatoes. They're looking pretty sad because I cut them up a few moons ago. Okay, and now we got also some lettuce and some spinach that's chopped up. That's looking a little sad too, but we don't want to waste it, you know. It's still good. It hasn't gone bad yet. So whatever, dude. Just get her on your Sandy, dude. You know. Some sprouts, I guess. Why not? I think sprouts are like popcorn of vegetables. You know, just air, not much to it. Don't really add any flavor. I like popcorn, but you got to add butter and salt and whatever to make it. If you're just eating plain popcorn, you know, that's like eating plain sprouts. Like, what is it? It doesn't really taste like anything. Anyways, though, I thought I'd buy some because they are healthy, supposedly, maybe. Somebody said once. I'm sure they are. Vegetables. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but probably not. So maybe let's put a little more sauce. Although I really sauced up that bottom slice. Let's put a little more sauce on here. It just seems weird to put a dry bread, just to be dry bread in it. You don't want to be out here dry bread in it. You know, on film, caught, exposed as a dry breader. I don't want that. I don't want that smoke. Okay. Anyways, this is my sandwich, which will be like a kind of pre-workout meal. And I'll just take you quickly what else I'm gonna do to fuel my body for this workout. So I've got this oatmeal left over from yesterday that I didn't finish. I'm trying to not stuff my face as much, so if I get full, I don't need to hammer this down because we're trying to cut down a little bit. I kind of lost my 6-pack, and we would love to have a a super duper six pack for summer. But I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna kind of shove that into my face in the exact way I said I was trying not to. But the thought here is that I want to kind of stack up. I want to load up before I go train. And then I'm gonna eat this pear apple, this Asian pear, right before I work out. I like to ingest some simple sugars, whether it be a Gatorade, a Cliff Bar, or a piece of fruit. It's probably a little healthier, just to get some sugars in me, and I feel like that boosts my performance a little bit. I'm looking for anything that'll give me an edge, you know? So I'm gonna eat this, and then I'm probably gonna shovel that down right after. I would probably wait and eat it later, but my schedule is such that I kind of need to eat everything now at like 3, and then I'll probably be actually training at like 6 or 6:30. So I do my warm up, get there at 5, do my warm up, my mobility and everything. So normally I would eat this and then wait till like 5 and then eat the other meal, the oatmeal, and then go straight to the gym and then have this right before working out. That's kind of how I would sequence it. Anyways, I do think that pre-workout nutrition, or the food that you eat leading up to your workout, I like to work out later in the day, so there's an opportunity to eat a number of meals before I'm training. I've found that to be fairly impactful of my performance in the gym. And ultimately, your performance in the gym is the main thing driving growth. That's what I think. That's what I've found. Recovery, sleep, food, it's supplemental. It's important. It can enhance or detract from the results, but you're not going to sleep or recover your way to gains if the stimulus in the gym is not sufficient. And honestly, if the stimulus in the gym is sufficient, you're doing some wild shit that's sparking growth, and your body's like, we need to layer more muscle on. Even if your recovery is suboptimal, you can still make progress. Obviously, it's not as good. You want your recovery to be better or ideal, but just a side ramble. Something I've noticed and I've been kind of thinking about. The main driver is like, what did you do in that workout? And whenever I can stumble upon a new method or an adjustment to my training, whether it be intensity, whether it be adding a set, whether it be changing the rep range, whether it be training more often, whether it be slowing the tempo down, whether it be having a training partner, any of these things that seem to spark more growth, like I talked about in the last video, that's what I'm hankering for. That's what I'm big on. And kind of getting your peepers up and out, looking for that shit, I find is the most beneficial thing, because then you're not looking for somebody else to tell you what's going to work. Obviously, you want to educate yourself, try to absorb information from all the so-called fitness professionals out here nowadays. But then, you know, pay attention to what happens in your body. Don't just be like, oh yeah, that guy with the, you know, giant delts told me to do this, so then I'm just going to do that for 4 years and never question it. Absorb it, assess how your body responds, and then over time, listen to your body, pay attention, and start to develop your own framework for like what's clearly working and what isn't. It's a difficult path to tread. As I kind of mentioned before, humans naturally were tribal apes, you know, and we want to attach to one ideology and resist others because it's more stressful and uncomfortable to stay unambiguous and unattached to what may be the best methodology for whatever you're doing, or whether it's fitness or some other pursuit or a career or relationships. Staying detached from marrying yourself to one way or one ideology or methodology ultimately, I think, leads to putting you in a situation where you're the most likely to get the best results. And so with working out, I think absorb as much information as you can, but resist the temptation to become attached to one way of doing it. And that way you're going to set yourself up to continuously experiment. And then the layer on top of that is to pay attention to how your body responds. Look in the mirror every day, measurements, weigh-ins, everything you can do to assess how your body is responding to what you're doing. And eventually you'll pick up on little things, because then all of a sudden, you know, maybe for 3 weeks nothing really changed, but then all of a sudden you did something. You wake up one day and you're like, fucking hey, I feel like the fucking biggest slab of steak on the rack, you know? That's how I feel some mornings. Not all mornings though. Sometimes I feel like a limp little piece of bacon flapping in the wind. You don't want that in my lifestyle. Like, why is my body seemingly responding to something I'm doing different? Then you can sort of isolate and be like, well, I did this different. Oh, I did a different exercise. Oh, I did 3 extra sets. Oh, I changed my rest time. Oh, fuck. Maybe lean into that. See if maybe you can squirt out a few extra gains for you. All right, we'll see you at the gym. I've had a couple of traumatic incidents in the past in general, and so I'm worried about the whole rig sliding, and then I'm worried about this freaking thing popping out. So I got her banded, strapped down, and I put this in here so it can't come forward. A couple years ago, that actually happened a number of times. I was working at this resort, and the whole freaking bench contraption exploded on me. Went flying ass over tea kettle over backwards. At the time, luckily I wasn't as much of a fucking animal, so I wasn't using as much weight, but I still think I had like a 80-pound dumbbell over my head. Okay, first set of curls. Normally I do the easy bar curl because you can have your hands at a bit of an angle like this. This is just a regular straight bar, so it really forces you to crank your hands. So I feel a little bit more activation in the biceps, but it can be a little hard on the wrist. So we've got 110 pounds. Let's try for 11. 11 good ones. Let's go, come on. That's a good set. Whew. The thing I like about standing curls is that you can really expand the margin of failure. So, as opposed to overhead extensions, you can't really do anything as you get close to failure to make it a little easier. And normally you want to keep your form strict, but that last rep, I'm not necessarily encouraging to do this excessively, but I'm able to lean back just a little so I can grind that last rep out, because that's kind of the arena of progress, or where new gains are going to be made, I believe. It's right on that brink of what you used to be able to do and what you might be able to do in the next workout. And being able to cheat just a little allowed me to gut through it. And I want to hang in that struggle for as long as possible. So I get stuck here, I'm good. This is perfect. I want to see if I can grind out the last half of this rep, because in my mind, that's where the progress is. Yeah. So similar to what I was saying with the curls, is that I want to extend that kind of margin of failure. And with this exercise, I can't do it by kind of adjusting my form. So what I've started doing is an immediate drop, which kind of mimics as if the weight got a little bit lighter on the working muscle, in this case the triceps. I'm going to drop down to the 95 right away. And maybe I'll try this. Maybe this will give me a better... I've been sitting on this block to kind of elevate my ass. Let's try it like this, because I don't really feel solid here yet. Anyways, enough bitching and complaining. Let's go for 8 good ones. Whew. Come on, Matt. Yeah. 8. Oh, it's like, let's go. Let's work. keep feeling the fucking bench move. I don't know if I'm just imagining it. Right away. Yeah. Hey, it's not bad. Allows me to push the set a little bit harder, a little bit further. Come on. The seat is moving. This fucking joint pops up. That's what's happening. I'm not going crazy. Ooh. I'm gonna need to invest in a new fucking chair for this gym. Make a donation. Come on. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, not the best sets. There's no way. Oh. I was squeezing my ass as hard as I can. Trying to, thrust that bar upwards. Oh, my glutes are burning. Ooh. Who said curls aren't full body movement? Come on. Get your ass into it. Oh my God. Ooh. As when you're going to be arching, squeezing the glutes and bracing the core will help to keep your lower back safer, spine in a more neutral position. Because when you arch, you're getting that, pelvis maybe turning down, back arching. Muscles that are going to counteract that is your core to pull you back into a flatter back or a more neutral position. Same thing with the glutes. The glutes pull down on your pelvis when you contract them, so the two of them are going to thrust upward and the opposite of arching. So when you're really pushing to the max with curls, you go for those last couple reps. So think about that. Brace your core for a punch, squeeze your glutes, and try to keep your torso from swinging, and then just go to town, go to work, and try to complete the rep with your bicep. As you saw there, I failed. But still good set though.
Your hands up.